I've done so many stories on Katt Williams, being a journalist here in Georgia. He was once banned in about 3 or 4 counties. They said, you're not to go in this county, that county. He had to probably drive all the way around, do some things, avoid airspace like Netanyahu, only he's not accused of war crimes. I love Katt Williams. Anyway, Katt Williams and Donald Trump in the same story. Here's why. Donald Trump gets angry at his own made-up story, and Katt Williams roast him. Watch.
The great George Washington all the way to, well, I think we have to rate him above me. So less than great, less than George. Somebody went up there, they say, you're the 3rd best president in the United States. This was on television, 3rd best. And they said, who are the first 2? George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. And I got extremely angry at this man. You know, you can't, it's going to be tough to beat, Mr. Senator. It's going to be, John, it's going to be very tough to beat Washington and Lincoln, but we're going to give it a try, right? Hey, they didn't put out 8 wars, 9 coming, all right? We put out 8 wars, and the 9th is coming, believe it or not.
No, you didn't. You probably will start another war and then attempt to put it out and get credit for it. But you didn't, he didn't end all these things. But anyway, I'll let Katt get after him. Here's the thing. Well, there's more. Let's just get back into it because there's so much more to enjoy. It's delicious.
I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. Now they're rewriting the books. Trump was treated the worst, Andrew Jackson 2nd, and Abraham Lincoln 3rd, but I definitely took top spot. You know this, Governor Moore, he'd love to see you. He came over to me, he hugged me, shook my hand. You were there. He said, sir, you're the greatest president of my lifetime.
In that conversation, did you ever tell him he was the greatest president in your lifetime?
I know this is breaking news to everybody, but the president is not telling the truth.
Who should we believe? Governor of Maryland or Donald Trump? I mean, remember when you were in grade school and they would talk about the president and you probably weren't even thinking about, or Democrat, Republican, this or that. You held the presidency in such high regard, wide-eyed kids just sitting at our little plastic chairs in our desk. And we said, oh, the president, how much money does the president make? I once asked. You know, this is such an honorable position. But not anymore. Okay? Not anymore. So Donald Trump maybe was referring to this guy or that guy. Katt Williams even pointed this out. Watch.
Trump said this week he spoke to the president of Puerto Rico and the president of the Virgin Islands. Sir, you are the president of Puerto Rico, and you are also the president of the Virgin Islands. So the question is, who the f*** was you talking to?
I mean, don't you want to know who Donald Trump was speaking to? Because you were not speaking to the president of the Virgin Islands, and you were not speaking to the president of Puerto Rico. Because they don't exist. So who are you talking to? I'd love for maybe it was another comedian who set him up. Anyway, let's recap here. In his latest bluster at a Rose Garden party for his Republican buddies who have ceded control of Congress to him, he claimed he was the greatest president of all time. I'm going to get through these prompts, but I want to just say this. If you have to refer to yourself, well, then Muhammad Ali did refer to himself as the greatest, right? And we believed it, and he was. So I forget what I was going to say about you're not supposed to refer to yourself as the greatest. Somebody else should declare it. Anyway, he claimed he was the greatest president of all time, but his actual words were almost indecipherable. The great George Washington all the way to, well, I think we have to rate him above me, less than George Trump boasted as he pointed to the crowd mid-ramble. decline, decline. And for people who point out, well, Sharon, sometimes we don't understand what you're saying. I'm not the leader of the free world, but thank you. I'm in my home studio, on streaming television, which I take very seriously, mostly. I'm not the leader of the free world. So if I don't make sense or I have decline, it's okay. Maybe my blood sugar's low. I'm not the leader of the free world. Somebody went up and said, "You're the third best president of the United States." This was on television, third best. And they said, who were the best? George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. And I got extremely angry at this man, Trump recalled with a nervous laugh to mask his anger. This is nuts. Then he seemed to get distracted. Well, I know a little bit about that. And momentarily lost focus. Yeah. It's going to be tough to beat Mr. Senator John. It's going to be very tough to beat Washington and Lincoln, but we're going to give it a try. Unclear which Senator John Trump randomly decided to make a part of his act, but he closed out with leaning on his go-to brag that's been fact-checked on numerous occasions. Hey, they didn't put out 8 wars, 9 coming. We put out 8 wars, and the 9th is coming, believe it or not, he said. And then the Trump followers, his subjects, loyal as they are, gave him a standing ovation. Elliott, what the hell is wrong with this man? Another day, comedians are now pointing out. If I were just going to a Katt Williams act, and maybe they embellish. You watch SNL and this stuff. This doesn't mean it's accurate. They just kind of, you know what you guys do, okay? But this is verbatim what this guy said. What the hell is going on here?
I mean,
Okay?
I
I don't
really,
know what I'm talking about.
if Trump's mind was a theme park, I would be like a season pass holder. I just want to go ride the rides and see what he's experiencing because it seems like an absolute blast. I'm sure there's a lot of churros up there that are probably all wrapped. Maybe that's what his brain is made of, is just like a pretzel shaped churro at this point. But I mean, Katt Williams, I love dearly. Like he's one of those folks that as an entertainer, when he starts talking, everybody listens regardless of what they think about him. He's like the quintessential entertainer. I would not say that Trump is a quintessential president. I would also rate, if we're playing this game, FDR maybe a little higher, or maybe most of the other presidents higher than Donald Trump. And I also don't know if ranking them according to best is the way to go, because I think maybe just ranking them according to least horrible might be slightly more effective. But yeah, I mean, God bless Trump. I'm glad that like he's going to go off into that sunset believing he is the greatest thing in the world, as opposed to how he's always felt, which is, oh yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah, and you know what? I do think I'm trying to think of all the dastardly deeds the others who came before him did. At this point, the guy who did this was this Nixon. Okay,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can come back. Come on back.
Why not?
Okay,
Bring them
he
all back.
made one mistake or 2 or 3.
Yeah, and
Something about
also
a break-in.
I like
Okay.
how you brought up how Trump said, the 8 wars that he's ended. I'd love to see him list them. And then he kind of, I do think, gave away the game by saying the 9th is coming. It's like, wait, so are you lining these up just to knock them down? I don't think that's how you're supposed to do wars. But, what do I know? I'm not the greatest president in the United States that's ever existed.
There was what? FDR had the New Deal. That was
Yeah.
consequences to this day, right? And Trump's he's disappearing folks and weed whackers and stuff. We'll see how history treats that.